It had been driven by a hideous creature made of rats, taken over by an evil intelligence known only as the Evil, a nameless, amorphous power from another dimension that was always trying to insinuate itself into anything and everything on Earth, starting with small things like bugs and moving its way up to people and inanimate objects like bulldozers. The Evil was the ancient enemy of the Wardens, which was why being a trouble twister was so important. One day, Jack and Jaide would graduate to become Wardens and join the great fight. "Just ignore it," Jaide said, snatching the ball from her brother's hands and running away to the other side of the yard. "I'm up 5 goals to 2. You're never going to catch up." Jack narrowed his eyes and crouched between the posts, ready to defend his goal area. "Do your worst," he cried back to her. "What does that even mean?" Jack didn't know exactly. He'd read it in one of his father's old novels. It was a challenge of some kind, and he needed to do something to turn back his sister's powerful kicks. Perhaps a flicker of shadow across her face would distract her at just the right time. With a cough, the front-end loader fell silent. The absence of sound seemed to ring in the air. Jack breathed a huge sigh of relief, then lunged too late for the soccer ball, which zoomed past him so quickly he practically heard it sizzle. It ricocheted off a tree 20 feet behind him and startled a large ginger cat who had been sleeping with one eye half open, waiting for careless birds. "Meow!" "Sorry, Ari." Jaide was contrite, but not very. Aristotle was one of Grandma X's warden companions, and he was supposed to be umpiring. "That'll teach you to pay attention." Ari sniffed the ball and poked it with one of his claws. His whiskers wiggled. "It's hot. Is that allowed?" "Yes," said Jaide. "No," said Jack. "That is why cats don't play sports," said Ari with a yawn. "Fighting is much more interesting when there aren't so many rules." "Don't listen to him," said an elegant grey-blue cat coming around the side of the house. Cleopatra was the second of Grandma X's warden companions. "Without rules, we'd be nothing but wild animals, humans and cats alike." Ari rolled his eyes and moved back into his favourite sleeping position. "Shush, you're scaring off the birds. If there are any left after that racket." Cleo ran up to join the twins, her tail swaying high above her rump. "I came to see why the noise has stopped." "We don't know," said Jack, reaching down to rub her chin. "Maybe it's their lunch hour." "I can hear people shouting," said Jaide, whose hearing was particularly good during daytime, when her gift was strongest. "I can't make out what they're saying, though. Sounds like they're under the house." All 4 of them looked up at the sound of footsteps running along Watchwood Lane towards them. Ari opened both eyes and watched with interest as the owner of the footsteps appeared in the arched entrance to the garden. It was Tara, looking dusty under a hard hat decorated with decal flowers. "We need you next door," she said, slightly out of breath. "How long have you been there?" Jaide asked. "I didn't know. I wanted to call you, but Dad said we were just dropping in for 1 minute on the way home. And anyway, my phone was out of charge." Tara shook her head. "That doesn't matter. You have to come." Jaide glanced at Jack, wishing they'd never lied about being interested in architecture. Tara's dad probably just wanted to show them an interesting piece of dry wool. Besides, she was winning at soccer. "You go on ahead," said Jack. "My ears still hurt. I don't want to go any closer in case they start up again." "They won't," said Tara. "That's why I'm here. They stopped for a reason. I couldn't call over the fence because they'd hear me. You know I can't, because, you know." She mimed a zipper across her mouth and waggled her eyebrows in frustration. That awoke the twins' interest. Tara, along with another boy from school named Kyle, knew all about Wardens and the Evil, but had been bound by their grandmother never to speak of it in public. They literally couldn't speak, write, or even draw anything that might reveal the trouble twister's secrets. If Tara was having trouble talking now, that meant something connected to the Evil had happened next door. "What is it?" asked Jack urgently. "They found something," she said, coming closer and leaning to whisper.